So, you know how in most games with sieges, we're always fighting in the siege itself. We're on the front line, we're the soldiers trying to win the battle. Well, have you ever considered who's feeding your soldier? Who's providing them with weapons and armor? Who's helping win the battle without being directly involved? Well, that's what Siege Survival Gloria Victis is all about. This is a strategy, resource management, and I guess a scavenging game. There's lots of looting to be done, all in a bid to craft your way to surviving the siege yourself, whilst also helping your side, your kingdom, not be completely and utterly destroyed. This is a sponsored video, but I wouldn't bring it to you unless I thought this game was worth a look, so that is what we're gonna do. Now, to set the scene, as you can see in this cinematic, we've been invaded by some Viking type people, the Izmir as they're called. They've mostly taken our city, but they're yet to break into the castle and the keep itself, so that's where we're holding up, trying to help our boys take the city back. The bastion must hold. Now, the game is broken up into two main sections of night and day, but those are both geared towards the ultimate goal of winning the siege, which is kind of the third underlying system. So here's what you'll be doing in the daytime. You can see I'm in this big courtyard in the bastion trying to survive. And at this point, I'm fairly far into the campaign. I'm on day 14, as you can see in the top right. We've got a bit of a timer up there, so we've only got a certain amount of time to get all our daytime stuff done. At this point, I've got 3 survivors. You can get more, but you could have less. They can die potentially if you're not careful. And they do have strengths and weaknesses, so you have to use them in the most efficient place possible to make the most of them. But you do have to look after them. You have to feed them, water them, keep them healthy. If you don't, they can die, or they'll just work really slowly, which is problematic as we're very time limited. Now, what you can see going on is a lot of resource management. I've got a lot of tables and workstations around. These are for making food, for making medicine, for making equipment. I've got a furnace for building materials. I've got some animals to look after as well, some pigs and chickens. Those can provide me food. So there's all this stuff to manage. And all the workstations I've had to craft myself. I pretty much just started off with a fire for cooking, and from there, from the scavenging and from the building and crafting with these stations, I've been able to build more and more and more. And it's all to aid the fight in the bastion. On this screen you can see the battle up top, 32 to 37 my side versus those invading Izmir. And that score number is a representation of how healthy and well equipped our bastion soldiers are, which is our responsibility. If the soldiers get injured, we need to provide them medical equipment. If their weapons break, we need to repair them. If they're hungry, we need to feed them. So while these battles are going on and before the battles, we need to supply the troops so they can have the best chance of winning. We just sent a bunch of stuff. Now we've got +3 on our 32, so that gives us a little bit of a better chance against their 37 number. So our survivors that we're playing as, we're trying to keep those alive, but we also need to always be helping out the soldiers so that they can keep fighting and thus keep us alive. You can see a trebuchet shot coming in there. That happens occasionally when battles are going on. If those hit our survivors, it will injure them, or if it hits our workstations, it can destroy them. But there is a bit of a safe zone on the right, which is why a lot of my workstations are all crammed on the right there, is because that's kind of the safe zone where we can't be hit by incoming projectiles. So that's kind of the gist of it for the daytime gameplay. As you can see, the battle's going on at the moment. It just changed a little bit. We've gone up to 33, them down to 36. We've gained a bit of ground on the enemy there because we kept our boys well supplied. So there's a lot of micromanaging going on in the daytime gameplay. We've got to keep our survivors happy, but also keep them productive and keep supplying the troops. The battles aren't always going on. Like I said, they do start and stop. So you do kind of get a bit of downtime where you don't have to supply so much, but you still kind of do. But you need to prepare them for the upcoming battle. But the game is really quite challenging, I found. The micromanagement, you've got to think really hard about what to prioritize. You can't let your survivors get thirsty or hungry or too sleepy, because then they'll become less productive. If they get injured somehow or they catch a disease, you got to fix that, otherwise they could die from that, or again it'll slow down their production. You can see the yellow bar there going up kind of slowly because my butcher guy needs some food. So yeah, it's really involved. You rarely get any time to just sit and watch them work. There's always something to be doing. Your workstations can be upgraded as well, so you got to try and get the materials for that. You got to kind of think, which materials do I need to go and get when I go scavenging later? There's always the risk of running out of stuff as well. I've run out of water a couple of times, which is pretty dangerous. If you run out of that, everyone's going to die. So you get lucky sometimes when you find it. Or you can build the rain catcher like I have over in the corner. And a little further on, you can see at the top, I've gone to 31 plus 4. So that's making me 35, which is matching their 35. So there's a good chance we could come out kind of even in this battle. Maybe even edging ahead of them. We'll see what we can get though. Still trying to set everyone up and try to prepare somebody as well for the nighttime scavenging, because that's going to be the other big part of the game, which we'll look at in a sec. But if everyone's tired, then someone won't be able to do that very well. So we do have to keep someone kind of ready to go out at night. And the battle continues. You do get kind of a description of the battle as it goes on as well. Here we go. There we go. We evened it out. We took 31 to their 30. So we're slightly ahead. But that's something. The battle's ended, but we've ended slightly ahead. So that's positive. That's good. That is progress for us to potentially win the whole thing and get rid of the bastards. And survive, of course. So there's going to be a series of those kind of battles as you progress through a campaign. And the more you win, the better a chance you got. You can see the kind of battle overview here. It was a tough battle, but we didn't lose too much. We got a bit of wall damage. That's another thing we have to try and fix. We send stone and brick to help secure the walls. You can see the course of the battle on the right. Those things change depending on how well we supplied our troops, which in this case wasn't too bad. So now the battle's over for a while. We can have a little bit of a breather. We still need to stay productive though. We still need to go out at night and scavenge for all the materials we need, all the wood that we're getting, all the stone, all the water. A lot of it is coming from outside of this little courtyard, which we have to go and get in the nighttime gameplay, which we're going to look at any second now when it turns to nighttime. We're just crafting up some meals and I think a toolkit, which we can use for various things. I think we can use that to make a new workstation or maybe upgrade one of the existing ones. We've got something finished in the furnace. Got some bricks. We can use those for various things. Going to upgrade this weapons table so we can repair some better weapons and armor to send to our boys. The night has come though, so now we get to choose what to do with our people. Some of them we're going to send to sleep in a bed. Our soldiers need arrows, so we could either go out and find arrows or find the things that we need to make arrows. But in this case, we've got plenty of arrows, so we don't need to worry about that. We just haven't sent them yet. We do need to scout behind the enemy lines to get information on the next attack, so we're going to do that with a couple of our boys. And our last guy, our butcher, Gerard, is going to do the scavenging. Then you need to choose which part of the city you want to scavenge in. You'll start off with only one part available, but as you move around, you can unlock new ones to enter different parts of the city, so you can get the different stuff that you're looking for. Now, I'm actually going to do a night run from a few days prior, just because there's a little more going on to show you. So we start off, we're actually out in the city now. It's dark, we can't see a lot, but there's lots of loot everywhere for us to gather the materials we need. There's also some hiding spots around, because there are guards walking around. Enemy Izmir boys who are patrolling the city. And I've got a shovel here, which I've made, which I can use to clear this rubble. Oh, somebody's coming. You can see the cone there. So we need to not get spotted. It's very bad to get spotted. For obvious reasons that guy's going to run after me and kill me. But also if you get spotted, and then even if you get away, next time you come back here, if I come back here tomorrow night, the next night, then there's going to be more guards around because they spotted me in the area. So you have to be careful not to get spotted at all. Otherwise you increase the patrols in the area. There may only be 1 or 2 boys running around the area normally, but you get spotted, then it goes up to 4 boys. You get spotted again, it's up to 6 boys running around. So then it becomes very hard to get any looting and scavenging done because there's guards everywhere. So you've got to be careful and try not to get spotted. You can kill the guards, but that's usually not a good idea because then they find the body and they're going to put more guards around the area anyway. Some resources to gather here, but there's a guard coming, so back in the bush. So we just cleared away the rubble. We needed a shovel to do that. They kind of block paths. If you clear away the rubble, you can open up a new little bit of area, and that could lead you to further areas. So there are some paths to unlock. Not everywhere is right away available. You can see the map. There's also these events, which we'll look at in a bit. Noise is also an issue. We generally creep around, but you can run, but it does create more noise. So you get spotted if you do that next to a guard. Same with searching here. You can search a little bit faster, but it's more noisy. Got some logs and some valuables there. We can trade those valuables. Gonna search, speed it up again. We got some water, we'll take that. We definitely want water. So we're gonna keep moving around. We're gonna try and avoid those guards. Oh, seems like there's a stationary one there. Just out of his cone of vision. Nope, okay. I think he caught us. We'll run. Ooh. You might hear us now and chase us further, but if we can get away, I think we're okay. We can search here. Not sure if we're in earshot there, so we'll play it safe. Oh, he's coming, hurry up. Oh, we got a bunch of good stuff there. There's another guy coming the other way. Oh, Christ. I'm sure there's a hiding spot in this corner. It's not coming up, though. Go back the way I came. Hope for the best. We're okay, we're okay. As long as we don't get spotted completely and they start chasing us, we're fine. We can fight back, like I said. We can kill them, potentially. We can sneak up behind them and try and kill them. But I've only done that once. And then it said that they found the body and then there was more patrols in the area. So it didn't really seem worth it. It's quite easy to avoid them. You just got to be careful. Not get too risky. There's a chest in here. Oh, speed this up. Oh, there's a key. A rusty key. So that could open something somewhere else on the map. That has the potential to get us some good loot. that we could use. There's some rubble. Some piles of crap. Very often things are where you'd think they'd be as well. If there's a pile of rubble on the floor, you'll probably get stone and some material to work with, like building material. If there's a pile of wood on the floor, it's probably going to give you wood, if you find wood attractive that way. Going to search this rubble here. We'll probably find some kind of building material that'll be useful. Maybe some wood. There we go. We've got some wood, some material, some greens and herbs as well. We can eat those. So the nighttime is all about going out, scavenging, looting, and trying to find preferably the things that you need for something specific. If you want to upgrade a bench and you need a certain amount of iron bars, you can go out and try to look for the stuff to make iron bars. Or if you're lucky, maybe you'll just find an iron bar. We got some decent stuff here. Got the water. We got that key as well. Got some wood we can use. Even got an iron bar, I think. Just try and loot this real quick. Probably more building materials than this. Again, it's a pile of rubble. There we go. More materials and a bit more wood. Not sure we have the space for it though. So yeah, this is just a very small part of the city. It's pretty huge overall. You got to be very careful not to get spotted because like I say, that can make life harder. And if you have to spend most of your nighttime run hiding from guards, you're not going to get a lot done. So you do need to be careful. There's also the events that happen at night, which can lead to various kind of rewards. Here's one on a ship, which gives you kind of a text adventure. There's a large trading cog at the waterfront. It seems deserted. Judging from the state of her decks and the sails pathetically flapping in the wind, the ship must have already been thoroughly plundered by Izmirs. Perhaps, however, it's still worth checking what's left of her cargo. Climb on board. A ship like this is bound to have many hiding spots the raiders could have missed. You board the ship cautiously and pause to listen to the trapdoor leading into the bowels of the ship. All you hear is the creaking of the ship rocking on the waves. Still, this could be a trap. You open the trapdoor and peer inside. With the door hatch as the only light illuminating the hold, it's hard to make out much. You don't see anyone, but they could hide easily among the broken crates and barrels. As you get ready to enter, you hesitate at the last moment. If you climb down, you'll risk much. But if you try to jump straight down, so we can try to jump into the hold, we can climb down carefully, or we could just fall back and not go in there. I choose to climb carefully down the ladder, ready at any moment to jump away if something attacks you. Luckily, your fears are unfounded. There is nothing moving in the cargo hold except a few rats. Calm and steady now, knowing the hold is safe, you search the place, and the lower deck as well. The Izmirs were thorough in their work, but they were only after precious cargo. In the corner there is a chest with tools and metal junk, undoubtedly remnants of the ship's repair kit which someone had contemptuously left hacked open. We find this more precious than gold. So we got some stuff. We got some building materials out of this event. And honestly, I think these are the most fun part of the nighttime gameplay because you can have good or bad results. It may lead to some sweet loot for you, or your character might get injured, or you might find a new character to recruit to your party. Here's another event. As you turn the corner, you hear drunken revelry ahead. The source seems to be a warehouse up ahead. Though it bears the marks of combat and plunder, warm light radiates from its open doors, together with laughter and rowdy singing. You sneak up to a side window and look inside. The warehouse filled with barrels of ale has become an improvised tavern. But who is that, pouring drinks for the drunken soldiers? It's Kimbra, an innkeeper you know well. Has she joined the enemy? No. The expression on her face makes it clear that she had no choice in the matter. I'm going to try to help her. Fighting this crowd seems hopeless, but there is a back door to the warehouse hidden in shadows. You could sneak in through there and wait for a chance to sneak Kimbra out. Alternatively, you could throw a stone to hit one of the Izmirs through the window. The resulting uproar should give Kimbra a chance to run. Do we want to do the back door or the stone? I'm going to go with the stone, see what happens. Hopefully neither me or her will die. You pick a target, throw, and the soldier collapses like a rag doll. The room fills with surprised yells. Luckily, Kimbra is sharp enough to take advantage of their inattention to make for the back door. You quickly make to the back door to intercept Kimbra. All you find is darkness. The innkeeper has made herself scarce. Clever girl. Now it's time for you to do the same. So we saved a lady there. We didn't actually get to speak to her, but maybe we will later. Or maybe she'll be a trader somewhere or something. But maybe if I'd chosen the other option there and went into the back door of the warehouse, maybe I could have spoken to her through that way, or maybe the guards would have found me and killed me. Who knows? I have played through a couple of times, sometimes doing the same event twice, even choosing the same option, but I come out with a different outcome than when I did it the first time. So there's some kind of variable going on that keeps those events exciting and gives you different outcomes. So that's a couple of many events that are out there. There's also traders to find where you can trade resources for stuff that they're offering. Some of these can be very useful, like this lady sells a lot of weapons. Broken ones, working ones, those are good though. We can take them back, repair them, and then send them to the front line, or we can just take the working ones and send them to the front line. So there's a lot to do at the night time, but there's a little time to do it in, so it kind of gives you a lot of replayability because there's so many things to check out and to see, and I personally want to see all of the events, but just don't have the time, man. Got to get to looting as well. So the little kind of mixed in text adventures do add a nice variety to the exploring of the city map as well. But overall, the game has a lot of replayability. There are a bunch of ways to play. I've played the story in the quick start mode so far, which is basically the same thing, just one without the tutorial. There's also an explorer mode, which makes things a little bit easier with more focus on the story. There's also some challenges, scavenger, defender, survivalist, so different ways to play the game. A new game plus as well. And you're going to have different experiences every time you play, and the city can sometimes be jumbled around, the layout will be different and things like that. So there is a nice bit of replayability with everything that goes into the full kind of story mode and campaign that you play through. There's also a scenario editor, so you can kind of make up your own stuff as well if you're into that. But there we go, Siege Survival Gloria Victis. You got the 2 day and night cycles that you have to go through, all in a bid to try and win those battles for your side and help support your side. Because at the end of it all, there's going to be an outcome to the entire invasion, whether you're going to fall and your bastion is going to fall, or whether the bastion will hold. So that's all on you and all on your group of survivors. If you want to take a closer look at the game, do click the link in the description. And at the time of this video releasing at least, there is a demo of the game you can try out as well. So if you're into resource management and strategy, as well as of course saving your kingdom, then give it a look. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the future.